we have some stunning reporting. This is unbelievable. Okay? That sounded like I was being silly. I'm dead serious. Daily Beast reports, Ghislaine Maxwell hit by wild claim she tried to give Trump dirt to Biden. Because they always say, if someone had dirt on Trump, why wouldn't Biden have released it? Well, let's find out. Maybe it's because he didn't want to have to give her something in exchange. Ghislaine Maxwell tried to offer President Joe Biden's team dirt on President Donald Trump during the lead up to the 2024 election, according to a fellow prison inmate. So this is alleged, okay? In this world, all sorts of stuff is swirling. It's an inmate. I don't know who that inmate is, but still fascinating. According to a fellow prison inmate, Maxwell serving 20 years in prison for helping lure, manipulate, and groom young girls for disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein, who died in prison in 2019 while awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges. But it was common knowledge among the inmates, according to reporting from the Daily Mail, not the most credible, but we'll continue. Among the inmates at the Federal Correctional Institution, Tallahassee, the low-security prison in Florida, where Maxwell was housed until a few weeks ago, where she was removed to the minimum security prison cushy place that she's in after meeting with Todd Blanche, that she hoped to avoid serving her full term by trading information for a presidential pardon from Biden. Kamoli is the last name. Catherine Kamoli of the author. Oh, I thought that was the prisoner. Oh, no, it is. Catherine Kamoli, a federal inmate, told the Daily Mail, quote, I heard her tell another inmate that she had dirt on Trump and that it was going to get her a pardon from Biden. I guess Biden's camp just didn't want to go down that route. A lawyer for Maxwell said, that's absurd. Please. So if this were true, right? And again, I always want you to get the most accurate information. And so this is an inmate, former inmate, telling the Daily Mail that this was common knowledge among the fellow inmates of Ghislaine Maxwell, that she was trying to reach Biden's team, maybe did, we don't know, a little bit of a gray area there, and that she expected to be pardoned by Biden because she could take down Trump. Epstein once was reported to have said, and his brother substantiated this, that if during the 2016 election he had told the public everything he knew about the candidates, they would have to cancel the election. Now you have this. And so that if it were true answers one of the questions, which is maybe one of the reasons is to dig up Epstein dirt on Trump. Maybe if it's not a smoking gun in a document somewhere, they would have to do what now Trump's doing to protect himself, which is make a deal with a notorious sex trafficker. She sits down with Todd Blanche and goes, oh, I never saw even a little bit of a concern. We watched that humorous AI video of her saying Trump was always the sweetest. He spoke so many languages. He was handsome and he never did anything wrong. And he actually only ever dated people above 50 his whole life. It was crazy. And then, she gets this cushy prison in Bryan, Texas, where 3 women once just walked off, bye, with a puppy in arm from the puppy program. But as I updated you on, the puppy program said, we're not going to do Ghislaine Maxwell. She doesn't get the golden retrievers. But that's the type of prison that it is. This is not like, is that a coincidence? It's obviously some deal that was made. And what would she have to do to get such a thing? Give information. True. But obviously the fact that Trump was not in that information, and reportedly her answer on him specifically was, I never saw anything of concern. The one person who could help her out here, of course she's not going to incriminate him. I was poisoned. They got to me. And she was doing the opposite with Biden. So you could say, well, how do we know that's credible? We don't. I mean, the long friendship with Trump, Trump's whole cover up now, all that makes it more likely than this version of Ghislaine's answer being the credible one. But supposedly she's going around saying, I'm going to get a pardon from Biden. So then you say, well, this answers the question of why. As I said, because to his credit, maybe this was never brought to his desk, but his team, or maybe they even never got to it, but it never panned out because obviously they had enough character to say, we're not going to pardon her. We're not going to give her a cushy gift. We're not going to move her to Bryan, Texas. We're not going to do that just so she'll hurt our political opponent. MAGA always says there was nothing Biden wouldn't do to hurt Trump. But dealing with the travesty of justice, the shock that the victims of Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein have expressed after this move to Brian, this move to another prison, this deal, that was not something the Biden administration was ever going to be willing to do. If this is credible reporting. Matthew Van Dyke said Trump supporters keep saying that if it was in the Epstein files, if he was in the Epstein files, Biden would have used it. Well, it turns out Ghislaine offered Biden the dirt on Trump. Biden refused it because he wouldn't pardon a pedo like her. Read for yourself, linking to the Daily Mail article titled, I heard Ghislaine say she had dirt on Trump. Maxwell's life in jail. I guess other info about that. Now, I saw this Jeanine Pirro clip, and someone made a funny joke about it. So we're shifting gears. This is, ready? Silly time, okay?
On a public bus.
Oh, while we're going through this, if you appreciate the show, please do click the subscribe button. That's free. It just helps us algorithmically. It's there. It says subscribe, and then you click it, and it goes subscribed. Boom, that's what you want. And then the non-free option, but the awesome one, is the join button. You can click that too to get the members-only bonus show.
In the chest. Intent to kill? I convict him. And you know what the judge gives him? Probation. Says you should go to college. We need to go after the D.C. Council and their absurd laws. We need to get rid of this concept of, no cash bail. We need to recognize that the people who matter are the law-abiding citizens. And it starts today. But it's not going to end today.
I'm trying to find the part that someone had a quip on. It's kind of long.
And beat the hell out of you or anyone else. They don't care where they are. They can be in DuPont Circle, but they know that we can't touch them. Why? Because the laws are weak. I can't touch you if you're 14, 15, 16, 17 years.
Yeah, that was the part. Maybe somebody said, just given what's going on, maybe don't say you can't touch 14. Well, they won't let me touch 14, 15, 16. And hey, I should credit that person, but I lost the tweet. I only have the clip. But credit to that person. Funny joke. Am I feeling a little bit strange about it now? Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit strange about retelling the joke.
Circle, but they know that we can't touch them. Why? Because the laws are weak. I can't touch you if you're 14, 15, 16, 17 years old and you have a gun. I convict someone.
Okay, yeah. So, but it's a serious subject. I get it. I'm just trying to induce a little giggles.
Legalized comedy. Brian Schwab. I did a poster of the young man from Doge who was beaten bloody with a severe concussion, a broken nose. And then I did a poster of what happens to those kids because I can't arrest them. I can't prosecute them. They go to family court and they get to do yoga and arts and crafts. Enough.
Again, that's what you gave to Ghislaine. Damn it. I agree you shouldn't be doing yoga if you beat someone bloody. Law and order. But wow. For her to get up there and talk about how people are being put in too cushy of prisons, which isn't generically a problem in America, but when they just put Ghislaine in a cushy prison where they literally have yoga and arts and crafts, that like what she just listed there. What? Bonkers stuff. Oh, wait, I do have. Michael Freeman said people in this administration should be talking about touching teens. Quoting, I can't touch you if you're 14, 15, 16. Just stupid. It's like, what the hell, Michael? Why would you say such a thing? Stop it. This is serious stuff. Brian Krasstein said, holy crap. The judge just said how much of a political stunt the Trump DOJ's Epstein grand jury unsealing request really was. Quote, a member of the public familiar with the Maxwell trial record who reviewed the grand jury materials that the government proposed to unseal would thus learn next to nothing new. The materials do not identify any person other than Epstein and Maxwell as having had sexual contact with a minor. They do not discuss or identify any client of Epstein's or Maxwell's. They do not reveal any heretofore unknown means or methods of Epstein's or Maxwell's crimes. They do not reveal new venues at which the crimes occurred. They do not reveal new sources of their wealth. They do not explore the circumstances of Epstein's death. They do not reveal the path of the government's investigation. So when we say okay, fine, we'll be more transparent. We're going to get the grand jury documents unsealed. It was like, no, that's not where the bombshell would even be. Let's not keep playing those games. We're too smart for that.